That's it. I'm going to start today with a little rant. I'm sorry, but I really need to. The rant's aimed at small business owners who just won't do anything. And I've had a kind of 10 days that are making me insane. Meeting with a potential client, well, you know, not a client, it's a freebie. I do it for free. He wants to know how to make video. I tell him everything, how to go, kind of what you're going to see. When I said to him, where's the script? He says to me, you know, I don't know if people really watch video anymore. And I said to him, well, here's a difficult question for you. How many people are going to watch the video that you didn't make? And you're like, so I said to him, you're making me insane. We sit down, we agree to 5 action points. Instead of doing 2 in the hope that they will work, you do none because you're scared nothing works. So my question to, or not my question, my plea to small business owners is do something. Send out that email. Even if 100 people don't read it, somebody might. I make videos and I post them. Sometimes I'll make a reel on or a short on YouTube, and sometimes I'll get 23 views. Sometimes I'll get 2,000. And I think to myself, 23 views? Was it really worth it? But just maybe the guy that booked the 20 videos from me last month, and I had a contract to make 20 videos. Maybe he saw, maybe he was one of the 23. So please, I beg you, just stop doing stuff. Okay. You can create video editing. You can do this on your phone. Hopefully by the time you walk out, you're going to be going, wow, incredible, I can do this. Making videos, it seems intimidating, it seems time consuming, but it's actually really fun. It's easy to do. It's much easier than you think. It's a great way to engage with your audience. Some reasons why it's really great. It builds really great communication. It's very effective communication. It really is. People, I don't know about you guys, when you buy a piece of tech and you wouldn't want to read the instructions, but eventually you'd have to. Then along came the internet. So instead of reading the instructions, you would Google it. And you'd read the instructions on Google, or maybe you'd follow some diagrams. Then along came YouTube. And all of a sudden, every single time you had something wrong with it, whatever device it was, you could go into YouTube and you could actually follow the guy who dropped your phone. You could follow the instructions. YouTube just became the way we communicate with each other. Now, I do want to warn you that we're dealing with what's known as the Instagram generation. And even we ourselves have become that kind of Instagram generation. So you've got between 60 and 90 seconds to get your message across. Anything longer than that, if you're going to start making 10 and 20-minute videos, lost, just absolutely lost. In fact, if you receive a video from someone on your phone on WhatsApp, and it says there 9 minutes, right? But if you say 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, you'll watch. You might not finish it, but at least you'll start. So please remember that. It's got great SEO advantages. You can put it on your website. You can put links. You can put links where you post it. It's really great on that. It showcases your personality. I love the fact that a little bit of my wacky, crazy personality comes out. One of my most popular videos was made for restaurants, where I said to the video starts off, and please excuse my language, the video starts off by saying, I'm angry, you're angry, we're angry. Here's an idea. Everybody put down your computer, go outside and shout the word fuck. Then I run outside, and from outside you hear me go, fuck. And then I come back and I say, okay, I'm glad I got that out of my system. And it's that kind of thing that you really want to bring. There's some chairs coming. You really do get to bring your own personality out. And if you feel that you don't have one, I'll teach you some tricks anyway. You can use something else along the way. Great social media reach. You can take the same video, you can put it on Reels, on Insta, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. You can do whatever you like with it. It's got a great conversion potential, good call to action at the end. Hi, call me, see me, do this, whatever. Remember, it can't have clicks. And then it's got a really good competitive edge in that very few people, everyone should be doing it. If you're taking pictures of the slides, I will send them all to you. I'll save you that. I'll give it to Tracy, and you'll get the whole presentation. really, I believe that copyright is the right to copy. So if you want my presentation, you can have it. You just change the logo at the top to yourself and you say, I made this presentation. That's kind of how it is. So that's really what it's all about. So I'm going to take you through some steps on how to create your video. Really from start to finish, this is the course that you're going to use. First of all, just think of a topic. What is it that I want to do? What's the reason for my video? What's the beginning, the start, and the end? Now, I'd like someone to volunteer their business. Who's got a small business?
Interior decorating.
Interior decorating called?
Just interior decorating by Lisa.
By Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa wants to show people, it's going to be her video. She wants to showcase what she can do. So she sits down and she thinks, okay, I want to make a video. What do I want to highlight in this particular video? I want to highlight the fact that, what are you going to highlight in this particular video, Lisa?
Redecorating a lounge.
Redecorating a lounge. So what's really nice about it is we have a very specific topic. It's not just redecorating. She's chosen something and we know exactly what we're going to tell people. So you kind of write that down for yourself. You write, I'm Lisa, I'm a decorator, I've been in business for so many years. And so you start writing whatever you can. You start, just write it. Okay, excuse my language, write it. Giving yourself an idea of what the start, the beginning, and the end is. The start's going to be kind of an undecorated room or a really ugly one. Maybe like kind of how our lounge looked in the 80s. Then talk about how I go about it. Then I'm going to show them the finished product. And then at the end, I'm going to have a call to action. That's going to be the start, the middle, and the end. Find the topic, do some research background. So for example, if I'm making a video for Lisa, what I'll do is I'll go into Lisa's website and I'll go into her about section and I'll capture just on a notepad, I'll capture a few things. Been around since 1986, been decorating this, got this degree, finished. All I'm going to want to do now is I kind of capture information about Lisa or the business that I'm talking about. Then you're going to start writing the script. And this is probably the most important thing. Most people, when they start their videos, they don't really have an idea of what they want to do. So they sit there in front of the computer and they go, hi, it's Mike. Those of you that have been to my talks before will know that the one thing I hate more than anything in the world are voice notes. I can't stand voice notes. And the reason for the reason I can't stand them is most of them go like this. Hello, Mike. I just want to. I'm sorry for the long voice note. Wait, let me try to keep this brief. The phone's out the car. I'm screaming. I don't listen to them. And videos are the same. You can't start your video off with, hi. Like in film from multiple angles. So the script becomes probably the most important part of this. And writing the script is actually where a bit of the fun comes in. Because introducing ChatGPT, all of a sudden the world changed. I'm going to give you an example. I'm doing some work with a company that services cars. I don't want to give their name in case one of you phone them and tell them what I did. So I say to them, they want to have an introduction video. They're doing a 6-part video. They want to do an introduction. I said to them, please would you write the basis of the introduction and I will turn it into a script for you. 100%. 8:25, their brief arrives. 8:35, I enter their brief plus some information into ChatGPT. 8:37, I have the entire script. 4:30 that afternoon, I send it to them to say, worked on this all day, here's the script. Yeah, and here's the book, because you ain't paying less, because it took me 7 minutes. And I will show you that's really how easy it is. We're going to write Lisa's script for her. I'll show you as we go along the way. So how do we write a script on ChatGPT? First of all, you set the context. Have you all been using ChatGPT? Yeah. Anyone who hasn't used it at all? You haven't?
No.
You haven't used it at all. Like I said, ChatGPT, you can search for ChatGPT. I recommend you use the web-based one by OpenAI. Don't download. If you are going to use an app, use the ChatGPT OpenAI app. Don't use any of the others. They're just nonsense. You're going to end up paying for stuff you don't need to. You might as well, unfortunately, I can't download the app on my phone, it's too old. I think you need to have iOS 17 or, but I use the web-based one. So the thing with ChatGPT is that the prompts are very, very important. How you word the prompts and what you ask it to do determines the entire outcome. So if I say to it, write me a marketing advert for Facebook, it'll write it. It won't know what the subject is, but it'll write. But if I say to it, I am giving a talk this morning at Ort SA, which is an organization that deals with small business owners. I want to highlight the importance of marketing to small business owners. Please write me a 60-second script. It'll answer that for me exactly. So please, when you're using ChatGPT, and I know it sounds crazy, I talk to ChatGPT like she, because in my case it's a she, is my personal assistant. So I always say, please, when people watching me talk, they're like, you did this, yeah. Please, would you? If you're looking at what you wrote above, could you please rewrite it in the following way? But it's fine. To me, ChatGPT is my PA. I need to be polite so that I will get the right results. I'm convinced that somewhere in that machine knows if I'm polite or not. And if I'm rooted, I'm going to get that really bad answer. So generate a brief for a marketing video for a small business. And instead of selling handmade soaps, it's going to be specializes in interior decorating in a particular, and I'll give it as much detail as I possibly can. You can't overwrite to ChatGPT. That's really the nice thing, because it can sift through all of this. So first of all, it's going to give me that. And I'm going to say to set the context, and I'm going to take that answer, I'm going to copy and paste it into a Word document or a text document, whatever I've got there. The next thing I'm going to ask it to do is I'm going to say, define the audience for me. You don't even have to define your own audience. You can ask ChatGPT to define the persona for you. What's your business?
I'm within the school in education.
In education. And what do you do?
Facilities, operations, logistics.
Okay, so you could say to yourself, okay, I do the following. I'm looking for a new business. Please, could you tell me who you believe is my ideal client? And literally, ChatGPT will say, Mike Sade, age 61, lives in the following area, has the following income. Then I can say to it, please tell me what my pain points are. I'll write my pain points out. Then I'll write it and I'll say, I'm going into a meeting with Mike Sade. Please answer those pain points for me. This is how powerful ChatGPT is. So all of a sudden I'm walking into a meeting and I'm going, I know you're concerned about the costs. Let me answer that for you. The person sitting there going, you even mentioned that, how did he know that? So if you can go into a meeting already knowing what the person might ask you, and that's the same with video. If you could be answering questions in the video that somewhere are sitting in the back of my mind, they're going, wow, this person gets me. And the whole idea for small business owners is we want people to believe that they get us. That's really what it's all about. I can make you feel, there's a guy by the name of Danny Meyer. Danny Meyer is a big restaurant owner in America, particularly in New York, and he talks a lot about hospitality. And he says that hospitality should be taught as a subject in university that has nothing to do with hospitality. Every business owner should understand what hospitality is. And hospitality is solving someone's pain for them. Hospitality is making someone feel like they are so special. And that's your job as small business owners. So if you look up Danny Meyer's video on hospitality and watch it, it'll change the way you feel about your own business. And I think it's M-E-Y-E-R. But I'll send Tracy a link also, just in case, but come across Danny Meyer's talk on hospitality. And wow, you'll just go there. That's what I want to be. I want to be that to my clients. So the next thing I say to you is, can you tell me what are the key points that my audience might be addressing? The next thing, what should the main objective of this marketing be? I'm asking it questions all the time. What should the main objective be? How am I going to sell this business to people? And as I say, don't have to write down all the questions. I'm going to give them all to you a bit later on. And then I'm going to say, draft the opening. Help me draft the company. And I often use this word compelling. Even when I'm writing social media posts, I'll say to it, I have a business called Interiors by Lisa. I need 21 social media posts that I can post over the next 21 days. Please make them compelling and inviting with a call to action. So I give it a name, and then I say to it, and please recommend the imagery that should accompany it. See, I can see that she looks so shocked because you're all using ChatGPT to write poetry to each other, shit like that. You could be changing your whole lives with ChatGPT. I'm honestly, what's that?
Some school speeches.
Yeah, but it's way beyond that. That's the real beauty of it. So I say to please draft me a compelling opening scene that captivates the viewer's attention. Now, in the past, I'd be sitting there going, okay, how am I going to start this video? What's going to be my opening scene? And I'll read it, and if I don't like it, I'll say, please write again. Please write again. Now, one of the things that happens on ChatGPT is it's spitting out stuff for you, and all of a sudden it stops. I don't know if you've all noticed that, and then the heading comes up. It just means it's reached its limit on words. If you just write the word continue and press enter, it will continue. So you don't have to go start again, type in the word continue, it'll probably go back 2 lines and start again, and you can compile the whole thing, just a little cheat for ChatGPT. Then I'm going to say, establish the problem. How should I introduce the problem or need that our problem solves in a relatable way? Because, once again, we're small business owners, what do? We solve people's problems. I remember my dad, and now I'm going back to like maybe 1960, 1970. One of his favorite expressions was, if you can build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. You can solve that problem. There's no amount of money she won't give you to solve that problem for her. And I use the term lady, but it's men, it's everyone. That's really what this is all about. So establish the problem. How should I introduce the problem? Introduce the solution. Draft a section introducing bit by bit by bit. I'm busy putting it together. Right now I'm getting lots of writing about everything, but I want a lot at the moment so that I can sift through it. Not I can sift through it. ChatGPT is going to sift through it for me a bit later on. That's going to be the important part. Then I'm going to say highlight the USPs, the unique selling points. Let ChatGPT do this for you. I mean, you should be doing this for your own business anyway, even if you're not going to make a video of it. You should have a buyer persona, you should have a USP, you should have a pain points, you should have answers to all of these things. And what's frustrating, so anyone miss chocolate? Who missed chocolates when they were off? Who was your drinking time for chocolates? I know you gents, oops. Anyone else? Chocolates? I'd make sure you guys have got energy and sugar to see me through all of this. What are your unique selling points? Sorry, what I was going to say about ChatGPT is that people are saying to me all the time, aren't you going to be out of work soon? I say, no. See, the really nice thing is that in order to get the right answers, my clients would have to give the right questions, and I'm pretty safe. Knowing my clients, they're going to be calling me. I'm just going to be using ChatGPT to do it better, faster, and easier. The thing with ChatGPT is there's no more room for mediocrity. You can't send a lousy presentation. You can't send a lousy email. If you're not using Grammarly, are you all using Grammarly? So Grammarly, just Grammarly.com, just go look for it. You add it to your emails, you add it to your Word documents, changes your grammar for you, fixes things up, puts the right commas in, fixes up your spelling mistakes. It's beyond, it takes rubbish and turns it into something readable. And you just sit there and go, oh, I wrote that. Oh, it's so well written. So Grammarly is just a really nice little extra thing at the moment. So you're looking for your USPs. And then draft a call to action. Now that's probably the single most important thing is no matter what you do at the moment, there has to be a call to action. Now, right, I was shown an advert this morning for paddleball. I look at the advert, I go, where's the call to action? And Ian says, what do you mean? Where's the call to action? Great, you're having paddleball. Where's the thing that says, join us for, or sign up here, or win a prize? The boss is looking and go, great, having paddleball. So what? Okay, so everything you do, a call to action. You post something on Facebook, well, even if it's not on the image, somewhere in the text, really short and sweet, call to action, call me for the following, visit my website, click here, just tell people that they need to be coaxed into their next piece of action all the time. Tell them what to do. And I know people, it's not that they're stupid, they just simply go, oh, that's pretty. Wow, now what? Tell them what to do. So get them to draft the call to action. And then I'm going to ask them to create me a closing scene, help me create an impactful closing scene that reinforces my message. So what I've got now is I've asked it for my USPs, I've asked it to do an opening for me, I've asked it to do scenes for me. I've just got reams and reams and reams of writing. That's what I've got. And then draft another call to action. Write a persuasive call to action. Currently is to try handmade soap. Also, as I'm very going to finish off with the call to action. And then finally, I'm going to say to it, using all of the above, please write me a compelling 3-minute video script. See, I'm telling it more or less how long I want it to be. I can say to it 10 minutes, I can say to it 1 minute, I can say to it 60 seconds. I could say to it, this is going to be a 30-second short, but I'm giving it instructions. Then I tell it, I will use my voice and speak into the camera. Other times I might say to it, I will be using a professional voiceover, or as I did for this training company, I will be using a character, an animated character. Then I'll say to it, please suggest images and B-roll. Now, B-roll is those little clips that you take on the side to support what it is you're doing that I can use in each scene to reinforce my message.
What do you mean by that? Sorry, I don't
So
know what you mean
let's
by
say-
little clips on the side.
Let's say I'm talking to you and I want to show you that I build websites. So on the side of me, a little box pops up and there's a website scrolling through. Or while you're talking to the camera, there's someone picking out ornaments or trying a bed. That's just known as B-roll. It should, and I'll talk about B-roll a bit later on. It should never take away from what you're doing, but it should support it. And it doesn't have to be video. It can be simple images from Canva. So that's also why I love Canva, and I use Canva a lot. So I'll create my B-roll on Canva, and I'll show you just now how to add all of this all together. So by the time they finish, people are looking at them going, wow, now that's a video. They don't even understand why they love it, but they really do. So to reinforce my message. So what I want to do quickly before we shoot each scene is I quickly want to write a script. And I'm going to do it. I want to do the short version of the script. So just bear with me. Oh, by the way, this is 21 reasons why small business owners shouldn't go to work in the morning. I was so frustrated the other day. It says, yeah, your business is called Frozen Assets. Asset segmentation is part of the brand. You're already so far behind. Why try catching up? You already got too many customers. Who needs more? You've perfected the art of procrastination. Why spoil a perfect record? I was so frustrated with 2 of my clients that I sent this to them. So, okay, let's have some fun with ChatGPT. So I'm going to put here. Do you have a website, Lisa?
No.
Okay, no, not in the world. We'll talk about that later. By the way, so just tell you what you're seeing on my ChatGPT. I use the paid version, $20 a month. For me, it's a no-brainer, $400 a month to have ChatGPT 4 as opposed to ChatGPT 3.5.
What's the difference between it?
Speed, amount of outputs. I'm never knocked off, whereas you might have to wait. But I'm not telling you all to join. I'm just saying to you that in my case, it's an absolute no-brainer because this is literally saving me days and days and days and days of work. So you can consider it. And then what else I've added onto this is something called AI RPM, which is just an add-on. So it's got pre-written prompts for me. So for example, I can go to my favorite prompt, which is the MomBot. And the MomBot works like this. I will say, people think my service.
It's not typing.
Why is it not typing? Because people think, help me now.
Yeah.
Not my,
Can come out and close it.
what's that? How do I get, oh, that's what, thank you so much. Thank you, that would have really been, people think my video editing service
This is not very sure it's mine.
is too expensive. That's all I'll type in. And what it'll do, it'll create 10 magical objection mastery patterns that I can use for that. So I can kind of answer questions long before I go up there. You'll see it's different now. Reframing, reality, model of the world. So just like before I walk into anything, I quickly put what objections I think I might have. But that's just one of the things. I'll just,
Why do you need this thing to do? Could you not have done it just in ChatGPT without this?
well, I could have, then I have to write all of that. I'd have to say,
Oh, right.
please write me a objections to the following one. Please rephrase them, each one of them in a different way, because they're 10 different rephrases. It's not
Oh.
like one is an analogy. I'm going to use an analogy, but it's just speedy.
Oh.
And the same what I've also got on this one, which is really nice.
Is that only on the form?
No, you can use AI PRM on anything.
And
so
so
Google-
Google no, I'm saying the 3.5.
The 3.5, yeah. So what you download it as a Google application. And then it'll come up on, and it's also free. So that's also really it's a nice one. I could, for example, also just go to new chat, go back to the public ones. And I'm looking for a buyer persona here. Even like video script, buyer persona legend. Here we go. What does your business sell? I sell my service, which, let me watch one screen at a time. Oh, sell my service. Which is home decorate in Johannesburg. So there, so just to show you what it's spat out right now. It's spitting out potential clients for me. So there we are. Name Sarah Johnson, 35. She's marketing manager. She has about 70,000 to spend. She's marital status as a 4-year-old daughter. She lives in Johannesburg. She's detail orientated, creative, and organized. Reads interior design magazines, so I know where to advertise towards her. She's interested in home decor, architecture, and arts. She creates and comfortable stylish homes for family. Her personal goals are to advance her marketing career. Her pain points are she had lack of time for decorating, cluttered living space, lack of. There it is. There's your.
How do you add that one? So the buyer persona, which you just found them.
It's fine to go search for buyer persona.
Oh.
But even if you haven't got out, you can go to the chat and just say to it, write me a buyer persona for the following.
What are you supposed to do with that? Contact this particular woman?
Well, no, at least I know who I'm talking to.
Marketing.
So
It's
I
not an
know-
actual person.
No, no,
just
it's not an
a-
actual person. No, it's not a, it won't give me a person, but it'll give me a personality. Yeah. It's a personality profile. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll say to it, please use an urban black male if I'm looking at that particular market, or change this to female, or can I have someone who lives in a rural area? And then it changes it for me. And I've got a much better understanding of who I'm talking to in that particular video or in my particular marketing on that side. So let's write a quick script for you. So I'm just going to go here and I'll say, please write me a, make it a 90-second video script for my decorating business in Johannesburg, South Africa. What else we tell it about us? Start spelling would help. So video out there. Okay, I will just tell it.
Race and an age group.
I will speak into one second. Let me just do this so that I can type and bring it back for you. Problem when you wear glasses. I will speak into the camera and please suggest images and B-roll. I would normally give it a lot more information than this. I would tell it as much as I can. I would give it parts from my website if I had anything I could. When I'm ready, I just hit the click button and then I sit back and I watch.
Mark, is it going to use that persona also?
No, I didn't ask it to. I included that.
Yes.
So I'd go back and I'd say, here is a buyer persona, the person I'm aiming at.
Right,
I've kept this one very, very simple. That's
Okay.
exactly what I would do.
yeah,
I'd go back and I'd say, okay, so now what we have here is it says to me, speaker, owner, decorating business. Are you looking to transform your space into a place that reflects your unique style? Look no further. Welcome to your premier destination for exquisite interior design and decorating here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then it tells me to cut to images of beautiful decorated living rooms, bedrooms, and dining areas. At name of business, we believe that your home should be a reflection of your personality and a sanctuary for your loved ones. Our team of skilled designers and decorators dedicated to turning your dream into reality. Then it tells me B-roll footage of designers discussing ideas with clients. Then it carries on. It tells me that the speaker should say, sorry, whether you're seeking a contemporary look, a classic elegance, or something entirely unique, we have expertise to bring it to life. Our designers will collaborate closely with you to understand your preferences and translate them into stunning designs that truly captivate your individuality. Now, you saw I wrote it one line. And it has spat out a world-class script for me. I mean, this, I can go back and I can say just, okay, please write this with a touch of humor. Please write it more professionally. I can, once I've got, I can then start going, okay, I like that, I don't like that. But don't take it straight off there and use it. Cut and paste it, go through it, think to yourself, you know, and I told the story when I did the Chat GPT talk. When our daughter turned 20 in January, and I wrote her a beautiful, what she means to me, using ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT wrote the whole thing. And at the end, I wrote there, those of you that have read this part, this entire thing was written by ChatGPT. I put it there. I wanted people to kind of know that. But it's interesting how many people didn't, because I got so many messages like, it's so beautiful. Oh, you two are so special together. I'm thinking, I'm not one word of this. Funny enough, I sent it to her. And while she was reading, she turned to her mom and she said, my dad didn't write this. This is ChatGPT, he never talks to me like this. So she could pick up from the person. And other people also commented to say, I knew it was ChatGPT because your humor was missing or your. So they just. But for a script, for a video script.
What happens if two people independent of
It's never going to be the same.
We'll never get the same, even if we typed in the same.
You're never going to get exactly the same. That's the thing. And the chances of two of you writing the same thing and then that video ending up in front of the same person are zero. So I'm really not. I'm not even phased by it. You know, people will ask me questions like, is it immoral? Does it bring me business? Yes. Are you going to keep doing it? Yes. Has it changed your life? Yes. I promise you, I did a series of 20 videos for a client. What happened was I arrived there on Monday morning, did my pitch. The guy said, okay, you can have the deal. And I said, what's the deadline? He said it was last Friday. I said, are you kidding? He said, no, my bad, not your fault at all, but last Friday. I think I put out 16 of the videos. I'm still waiting for the last 4 scripts. I put out 16 videos in about 8 days. But without ChatGPT, I would never have been able to do it. And they were aware that I'm using it. What they couldn't do was what I did afterwards, which is the animation and the thing. But I would have spent, I would still be writing scripts right now. So there's no reason, if you think, you know what's holding me back? I don't have creativity. There it is, eh? It's sitting there. I don't know how to phrase this. I don't know where to start. No more excuses. For anything. No excuses for your social media. No excuses for your emails. You want to write someone a scathing email. They're beautiful for that. Just write there saying,
Write me a polite scathing.
what's that?
Write me a polite scathing email.
Yes, you can. No, you can. In fact, a friend of mine said to me, he's thinking of resigning. Would I write him the resignation letter?
Wow.
Taking the following into account. And you can't believe what this thing came up with. And I said, please use humor and irony. And it started off by saying things along the lines of, as well versed in human nature as you are, perhaps you missed this. I was amazed by how good it was. So, yeah. So, as I say, I'm using ChatGPT a hell of a lot, all the way down to the script, call to action. Possibly what I could use, I could say to it, let's say right now, once again, I'll just be polite. Thank you.
It must have artificial intelligence that when you are signed in, it starts understanding the tone of how you speak and how you ask questions. And therefore, when it crafts words, I would imagine that it more, with time, it aligns more to your tone.
It's not there
Have you
yet.
found that over time?
It's not there yet.
Okay.
It's really not. Right now, it's still generating neural language from millions and millions. But they reckon that ChatGPT 5, which everyone's a little bit scared of, is that's what's going to happen. It's going to start copying your style. But I've also learned to just direct it and say to it, I use the words like compelling, humor, irony, professional. I really do try and tell it the tone of the video that I'm making. Or you can do it by saying, this video is aimed at managing directors of companies. And it'll then automatically, or I'll
I was going to say, just for her purposes, she could also just like throw in some of your own writing that you've done.
Yes.
Ask it to model.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can ask it to model. Yeah, please model on the following writing if you'd like to do that. So thank you. But please add a strong call to action. Simple as that. Hit go. Will probably generate the whole script again for me. There it goes. And then at the end, it now says, don't wait any longer, call so-and-so at this, or visit our website at this to book your consultation. So it gave me the final call to action. So all I'm doing is I'm going back to my script and I'm refining it. I'm saying, help me a bit here, help me a bit there, change this, change that. So now we have a script. Right. What I can also do is I can say to it, please tell me what scenes. I could ask it to tell me scenes, what I should film, but it's almost self-explanatory because it tells you what you want to do. So let's start making our video. That's kind of the next step. Okay, so now I have my whole script. Now it's time to start shooting each scene. Shoot footage for each scene in the video. Remember to shoot extra scenes, shoot extra videos. I shoot myself over and over, doing the same thing. I go back, I look at that clip, I prefer, like which one I prefer, different backgrounds, me walking towards the camera, whatever you want to do. Just play, have fun, enjoy yourself, go mad. Okay, so let's talk now about how you're going to shoot. So when I shoot video at the moment, this is kind of my rig that I use. It has an Osmo Action 3 camera as opposed to my phone. It has a Rode wireless microphone so that I can clip this onto my lapel, and it has a little light that comes and it changes colors depending on what I want it to be. I film there, I then record setup for this, about 6,500, 650 rand, about 4,500. So it goes on and it can add up and add up and add up. But for the same trouble, here's another rig. Okay, there's my smartphone. Here's a little lapel microphone that I bought at the Chinese market for 350 rand. It's also wireless and it's connected in over here. Using my own phone, a little ring light, and these are about 275 rand at the moment, if that's the setup. More than adequate, I promise you. Don't need to, I'm doing that because I need to get certain kinds of depth of field, whatever. This is what you need. I highly recommend it that you buy, also just to show you this little thing here, costs about 50 rand in any Chinese market that holds your phone. Okay, I happen to have the setup kind of on a box, but you can have that tripod, probably about 175 to 200 rand. So what are you in for? Ring light, 275. Little microphone. If you're not going to use the wireless one, buy yourself what's known as a lav microphone. That's the one that clips onto your lapel. But just to tell you that people will listen, people will watch bad video. They will not listen to bad sound. So it's a very, very important thing is that you up the quality of your sound more than anything else. And then I tell people that all the time. They spend all their time on the presentation and you've got lousy sound, that they just get off straight away. So that's kind of your setup. There's not a lot you really have to do. There's no excuse. You can hold your phone. Sometimes I hold the phone because I actually want to hold the phone because I want to give that POV, point of view kind of thing. Me walking, talking, restaurant behind me. Hi, I'm not, your choice how you do it. Most of the time, set it up, put it on the stand in front of you, check your background, talk. Clear some storage on your phone. Make sure you have got a bit of storage. For most of us adults, that's okay. My daughter, bless her heart, forever running out of storage. It's like what can she delete? I don't know whether she saves TikTok videos or Instagram, whatever. It's never got enough storage. So do that. High quality video can take up a lot of things. Make sure you have a charged battery. If you haven't charged the battery, at least have a power bank nearby. Power banks, I mean, my phone's permanently plugged into one of them. And clean the lens. It's one of the things that just, all you really have to do is wipe the back of the lens and you'll notice all of a sudden, wow, my pictures are so much clearer than they were. I wonder why. So, and then clean the lens. That's kind of how you prepare your phone for this, for shooting. Then I used to talk about a app called ProMovie, and I still use it myself. But I've stopped actually doing that because I realized that I would spend 20 minutes talking about ProMovie in this talk, only to find out that nobody used it. You are going to simply use your phone. Don't worry about anything else. All you're going to do is use your phone, no problem. Some of you can adjust your frame rate, and I'll talk a little bit about that. You should set your frame rate is probably automatically set to 24 or 30, one of the two. That's good enough. 24 gives what's known as a little bit of motion blur. In other words, if the camera moves, it looks a little bit more natural. Then 30, that's about the only difference between the two. Whatever it's set at, I wouldn't worry too much. It's more than likely good enough at the moment. You could use a professional app like ProMovie, which will give you extra controls, but I know you're not going to. So I don't want to waste time going into it. What ProMovie does, it allows you to adjust the depth of field. If you are looking to do something, look at the app. I think it's still free at the moment. ProMovie is still a free app. You can get a paid for one as well. It just gives you a lot more setting controls. You can adjust the ISO, you can adjust the lighting. For most of the time, you guys are going to take videos of yourself speaking into the phone or of what's actually happening in the room. Just a couple of habits to get used to. First of all, decide beforehand how you're shooting. Are you shooting in landscape or are you shooting in portrait? Don't shoot in both. And you might also, that would depend on where you post it. So for example, if I want to post this on a reel or a short, then I must shoot in vertical mode or Instagram story, because that's how it is. But most of the time, I'm shooting what Sasha calls old people style. With the landscape. I'm shooting landscape most of the time. I'd rather shoot landscape and clip. But like, for example, I'll do it, someone will say to someone, I'll put a video together for them. I say, I'll send out an instruction. Everybody's to send me the video in landscape. 3 people will send it to me in portrait. And I have to try and adjust the size. But that's just,
Can I ask you something?
sure, of course.
I'm looking on my camera under
Yes.
record video, and I don't know which one to click on. There's 720p HD 108.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, perfect. So what that is really, this is 1080. This is perfect. Okay, 1080 is kind of that size. 720 is basically, instead of 1080, it's kind of there. It's got to do with the size. I try and shoot in 1080 as much as possible. You've probably got 2.7K there and 4K.
Yeah, and then
Fine.
it also says 108, 30 frames per second.
And 108, 60 frames per second. Okay, so let's go through all of that quickly. So the frames per second, you understand that what video is a whole lot of still images, one after another. That's really what it is. So if it says 24 frames per second, that means it's taking 24 still pictures for every second. If it's 60 frames per second, it's taking 60 of them. So when would I use 60? When I'm trying to shoot slow motion. When I later want to slow something down. So I would change to 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second, depending on this thing can go up to 240 frames per second. If I really want to show slow motion of someone walking in to buy my product, sipping that Coke, that's when I use it. Most of the time, you're going to be using 1080, 30 or 24 frames per second. You can kind of take that as the standard. There'll be times when you want to use it, but that's more thing. The only time you might want to use 720 as opposed to 1080, but I would still shoot in 1080, and I'll talk about rendering later on in 720, is 720 or 480. The smaller the number is, the smaller the file is. So what is important to understand is that a WhatsApp video can only be 16 megabytes big. Anything bigger than 16 megabytes, you're getting those yellow lines on either side, and it's cutting stuff off. So that's one of the considerations. You think to yourself, okay, this video is going to be a bit longer than usual, and I do need to send it. Change down to 480, you'll get a much smaller file size. And on WhatsApp, people won't really notice the difference. It's not like they're projecting onto the screen. So I hope that helps you with the.
When would you use the 4K?
If you're shooting, you're shooting for your son's bar mitzvah, and you want to project it onto the 4K is what they shoot movies in.
Oh,
What's that? Every day. Oh, you're shooting in 4K. Yes. Okay. But you won't be able to send much 4K. So if I were to shoot 4K and then try to send it to you, you're going to get about 10 seconds. You're not going to get, or maybe 60 seconds, but you're not going to get a 3-minute video. So the higher the resolution, the better the quality. So it's as simple as that.
I think when recording video in general, you should probably be thinking about your storage capabilities. So
Yes.
if you are taking things and bringing them somewhere, they have limited space. So obviously.
100%. How much storage space have I got? What I'm going to do with it afterwards? Where's it going to go? I mean, obviously, when I'm shooting, when I'm taking this out for a run or something like that, I'm shooting in 4K because I'd rather come back later and downgrade it than have to think, oh shit, I wish I'd shot something better. I get a wider angle, I get more resolution, I get better light, 100%. But for what we want right now, 108 or 30 is probably perfect for any marketing video. Read on that. But I understand why you should do 4K because this is set on for 5.7K sometimes if I'm lucky enough to do it. So you can use professional apps. It's pretty easy on that. Now, stabilizing your phone really is quite important. Really, there's nothing worse than watching this. And another thing, if you are shooting, and this is also, if I want to shoot this room, I really am going to pan very, very slowly because this is what I don't want. Running on the floor. So just action shots. Yeah, so, well, for certain action shots, maybe you do. Now you want to do the finish and then out from someone's the jump cuts or whatever. There's lots of the things you can do, but on the whole, steady hand, steady camera, really slow panning, slow motion, walk in towards the subject, come out again slowly, don't like it, do it again, shoot the same shot 3 or 4 times. Can see the eyes rolling. Yeah. Shoot multiple shots. Afterwards, you can look at them and just throw away the ones you don't want. I'm assuming you've got enough storage to shoot that. So rather overshoot than undershoots at that particular time. For really moving shots, you can use a smartphone gimbal, but anyone here with a really latest iPhone, like a 13, 14 for whatever at the moment? What do you have?
I think it's a 14.
14. It's got a built-in stabilization that's better than my old GoPro. Now that's how much these phones have improved. They really have. So you probably don't need one. But if you're shooting a lot of stuff, like 1,750 Rand, 1,950 Rand, you can get a gimbal, a 3-axis gimbal, which actually makes sure the phone stays steady no matter where your hand goes. So if, for example, you're filming your factory and you want really nice shots inside your factory or walking through a property, then you'll actually learn to also walk with your knees bent, was ninja walk, whatever you want to call it, because if you walk like this, then you get the rocking motion. But I don't want to overcomplicate things. I just want to tell you that you can do all of this at a later stage. Right now, I just want you to be shooting video, making video, editing video, and posting video. That's kind of where I want you to go, and you can improve that later on. YouTube is an incredible university, really it is. I mean, besides if you really want to get onto things like Skillshare or Udemy or whatever, but just YouTube itself has got everything you need. You can go onto YouTube and say, how do I shoot stable video using my smartphone? And some guy will teach you how to hold the phone like this or walk like this. It's all out there. As good as you want to be, you can be, but I don't want to overcomplicate things kind of at the moment. Plan your shots, look at your storyboard. You've written your storyboard already, you've got your script. Oh, there's nothing worse than coming back from a shoot that you did at a client's house and thinking, I didn't do the kitchen, I didn't do the kitchen. Phone client, please can I come back? Oh, it's a different time of day. Oh, I've got different lighting. You can see the guys that are shaking hands, they know exactly, miss shot. So you literally, before I go out, I make myself a shot list. I'm doing one for this car service company. I know that I need to get the reception desk, walking in, a nice wide shot outside, inside the workshop, close up of the mechanic's hands, tools neatly put away, customer signing a form, customer walking away, key handover. I literally write to myself a shot list, and I just tick them all off to make sure that I've got my shot list back. When it comes to composition, there's only one rule you really do need to understand in photography that'll change everything. It's known as the rule of thirds. So those of you that have got a camera with a grid on it, or in fact, all cameras have grid on them, you might just have it switched off. That is known as the rule of thirds grid. You've seen this grid on your phone? Yeah. Go on your phone, look for grid, put on, and this will pop up, this little rule of thirds grid. So if you can get used to understanding what the rule of thirds is, that when we look at things, we don't really want to look down the middle. We need to move our attention slightly. So what I'll do when I shoot, for example, an interview with someone, is I'll put them over here in the image and not straight down the middle. Okay, I'll try and literally get their eyes along that, or the other side over there. So then what happens is while I'm talking, I can use this spot over here for my B-roll or my graphics. They will appear up there while I'm speaking on the side there. So that's kind of how I use that. Every now and again, I might want to put someone in the middle. Whenever I'm looking at a horizon, I'm either putting, this is Earth here and sky there, all the way to the top, or the other way around. So stop using the middle of your camera as much as possible. Even when you're taking snaps of family or friends or scenery, if you can start using the rule of thirds, people will look at your pictures and go, wow, that's it. They won't even know why. They won't say to you, oh, well done, you used the rule of thirds. Very impressed. Or they might say to you, I said Mark's talk also. Well done, the rule of thirds. But get into the habit of kind of this rule of thirds. The only time you probably.
So what are your recommendations for vertical video when it comes to?
So I was going to say, when it comes to vertical videos, you can kind of throw the rule of thirds away because of the It's kind of like that. You can still use the 2/3 for the sky or whatever might be behind the person. If I'm shooting and I can see the sky, I will try and keep it on the third, not halfway or through the eyes or whatever. But very much it's a horizontal thing. I was about to say that. So no, it's a great comment because you might be like thinking, okay, what do I do now? How do I put someone on the side of a very thin video? You don't. Then it's smack bang in the middle. All the tension kind of happens in there. So if you can get used to shooting video in that format, you'll notice your own videos improve. You won't even know why. And as I say, it also leaves you a lot of space up here to put your company logo, some extra graphics, do an overlay, whatever it is you want to do on that side.
Can I just ask you, are you
course.
going to have to shoot a separate video for Instagram because of the format?
So, yes, that's the thing. So first of all, you can post this on Instagram as well. There's no problem. What you can't is you can't use it as an Instagram story.
Or real?
Or real, right. So that's why part of the reason of how I'm going to shoot is what am I going to use it for. But what I might do is shoot both while I'm here. So I'll shoot one like this, one like this, one like this, one like this. So that when I get back to my computer, I can separate them all and say, make a folder that says vertical, horizontal, put them in separate ones, rebuild 2 videos. Or I can cut the video afterwards.
For Facebook, you could use horizontal or not?
Yes,
Okay.
horizontal, they all fit,
Hmm.
but it just depends where you want to use it. So for example, if I've shot something in horizontal and I do want to use it in a reel, it's going to end up in the middle there, like that. And then what I'll tend to do is I'll fill this up with a text or a sticker. Just telling people, I posted I might be able to show you this now when I hook up my iPad. I shot with a very fancy zoom, something in Mossel Bay of a boat that looks like I'm standing next to the boat. Turns out I'm about 1 kilometer away from the boat. And I wanted to use it, so I couldn't cut it. So I just made it like that and then put the stuff there. But when I went on to YouTube Shorts, I did use the vertical thing and it kind of worked. So most of the time you can use it for both, but think, who's my audience? Where am I posting? What do I need? Shoot that.
Sorry, Pinterest, is that vertical?
The rest I think is about square.
So what do you-
TikTok would be vertical.
No, TikTok's vertical,
Yeah.
Reels are vertical. Pinterest, yeah, I haven't heard that word in a long time. People still use it.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
So apparently.
No. So it depends. So for example, if you're in home decorating, then definitely Pinterest is your thing. It depends on you're in fashion, you're in Etsy, whatever you're into making stuff, definitely. So I believe that different social media channels really do have a place for everything. Even who knew LinkedIn, eh? Well, I still haven't worked out who uses LinkedIn. But, I mean, I post on it. I still haven't worked out why. So use the rule of thirds. That's a great way to do your composition. And then try and manage the lighting. That's another thing that really can be really bad. When it comes to manage the lighting, probably the most important thing is make sure there's not a very bright light behind the person, unless that's exactly what you want. You want a silhouette, but for most of us, that's not going to be. We're not shooting that heavy silhouette, moody shot. Make sure there's no light. Try and use natural light wherever you can. Get hold of one light. That's all you need, is one kind of full light, where it's on the camera or just to the side of it. It's usually more than enough. You can go onto YouTube and you can search for 3-point lighting. It'll teach you how to light someone with 3 lights, key light. What's that one called? Key light, full light, and headlight. And it'll teach you how to do the lighting. But once again, I don't want to get into stuff that I know you're not going to use. I just want you to make great videos, but get yourself one light. Even if it's as I said, this is available from Godox or on Orms or one of the sites, about $5.95. But really, if you can invest in it, it's really nice and light because of all the different, I can change the brightness of the lights and everything like that. I can bring in red light, yellow light, whatever I need to do. Otherwise, a little ring light, $275, have one in your car, wherever you go. If you can't afford a tripod, go buy a press stick, big blob of press stick. Don't stick it on the wall, but stand it on something, stand your phone up. It's as good as having a tripod. You don't have to hold it, so there's almost no reason not to. Make sure the light is coming from behind the camera. or around the camera, wherever you want. That'll kind of help you there. And then sound recording. So once again, I just want to tell you that sound is very, very important. You really do have to get the sound right. If you are going to make an investment, make it in a little microphone of some kind or another. There is nothing worse than trying to listen to a video. You can't really hear the person and there's a lot of background noise or whatever. A small little microphone, as I say, the Rode is probably too expensive unless you're in professional. I wouldn't go with that. But you can pick up, as I said, at the market. It's a two-piece little thing, couple of $100. You might even find it on Take-A-Lot if you prefer that. All I urge you to do is to make sure that the connector you buy fits your phone. So if you've got an iPhone, you buy the Lightning one. If you haven't, you buy the USB-C. It is USB-C. So that would be the only thing, is please make sure that even if you buy a lav microphone, that the lav microphone works with your particular phone. Just to tell you quickly what happens with phones. See if I can kind of draw this for you. No, it's not what you think, it's a microphone. Okay. Easy there on the dirty minds, is that right? Okay. For a normal headphone or whatever, there are only 2 of these kind of bands, whereas with a phone, you've actually got 3, because you've got your speaker and your microphone going into the same one. So that's why sometimes if you think is a normal microphone into a cell phone, you actually won't get recording. So please just a little bit of research on what your phone is and what you need for your phone. That's probably the only thing you need to worry about. Try and make sure there's no noise around you. Walk around the office, tell everyone to shut up because you're about to start recording. Close some doors. Listen for the sound. When you're standing in a room, what you might want to just like, you hear a big echo, not a great room. That's a pretty good sound test. Just not too much echo. I need to find a smaller room. If you want to record actual voiceover for yourself, you've got a sound studio in your house. You didn't know it, but you actually have. It's called your cupboard. You literally go into your cupboard, separate the clothes just a little bit, but don't take them out, and do your voiceover recording inside your cupboard. Those clothes just, it's perfect. They just muffle all the echoes. Any outside noise gets, and that's if you're just doing a voiceover. Don't shoot yourself in the cupboard because it's going to be really hard to explain.
Don't jump out.
Yeah, don't jump out of the cupboard. Give someone a fight. But you really, if you want to record a voiceover for yourself, which some people do, I don't want to be on camera. But, and then of course there's AI voices. You can use AI voices. They're getting better, but they still, without a doubt, are AI voices, and they work better if you really
That
lazy.
depends on what you're doing. There was that presentation at the US Congress a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where Altman from OpenAI did a whole thing to the Senate on the future of AI.
Yeah, but
The point is that the chairman, the guy who's chairing, actually had his voice recorded and had copied his voice that they didn't know that his voice until he admitted it.
The difference between Altman and I is about $150 billion. Okay. Now, that's the only difference. Others would be doing the same stuff. But right now, what's available to you as an AI voice might work under certain circumstances. And there's a thing called Murf, M-U-R-F, Murf.ai. Murf's very good. There are a couple of really good ones. But on the whole, they sound a little bit robotic. It's very hard to add inflection, make the tone go up and down to AI voices. So I would use them very sparingly. I know we all hate the sound of our own voice. And after recording voiceover for 16 videos, I really hated my own voice last week because it's it's taken into Audacity to fix, take it into the cartoon character, do the lip sync, then take it. By the time I was mental for my own voice. I'm sure you get that feeling yourself when you hear your own talks. You don't want to hear your own talks. It's like weird. Like it's just like, and then someone says, "Oh, you've got such a nice one." To me, I haven't. Unless we all feel that way, so please don't worry. But on the whole, people won't mind your voice at all while they're on. So, and then unwanted background noise, try and avoid that. Do multiple takes, shoot more than you need. B-roll footage. You can either use your own B-roll footage. In other words, you can go on location, you can shoot a close-up of the Coke, you can watch the machine, or you can just download B-roll footage. You go onto Canva, you all have Canva accounts, especially if you've got Canva Pro, and look for the video that you want and make yourself some B-roll footage, which you're going to use a bit later on. Download them as separate files. There's also, there's so many free stock places out there. If you are going to take a stock subscription, I really recommend Envato Elements. If you guys are using Envato Elements, it's really worth it.
How do you
There's
spell that?
ENVARTO, Envato Elements. And I don't get commission from them, I really should, but Envato Elements, unbelievable pictures, stock images, fonts, design, it's incredible. It's really, this is what you do. I'm always recommending to people, but I do say to them, go with the free until you can prove a reason to pay them, but sometimes it really is worth it. Sometimes I look at an app on my phone and I go, okay, I know some of them are free, but this is so good, it's people deserve my money. I can't actually believe that this is so good. Whoever the developers are, they can have my $20 because I'm hoping they'll make version 2.1 or whatever. The free is not always the answer, although it's there for you to use. Please, as I say, don't let the B-roll overtake your whole video. If you do want to really highlight the B-roll, then rather have that full screen and just keep your voice. So all you do is let your voice go up the back there, and then check your footage, review your clips. After you shoot them, look at them, maybe even on site. If you can, download them onto your iPad or computer, look at your footage, make sure you don't need any others, see that nothing's overexposed. There's nothing worse than coming back from a shoot and going, I didn't notice that drinking a beer in the background or picking his nose. And it happens. You sit there going, oh God, I can't believe I missed that. So you look at the video and then you look at it from there. So then it comes, now we've got to the stage where you want to edit our video. We've got all the stuff together. What do we do with it? Now, I don't know whether you were told, but I use an app called VLLO. And the reason I use VLLO is because actually the free version is really good enough. VLLO. You can just download it on your smartphone, on your tablet, wherever you want. And VLLO is the way to go. I'm going to do a VLLO demo for you. So I've got my iPad to my computer, so you can get an idea of what it can do. Right now, for me, most of the time when it comes to social media, good and fast is better than slow and great. Okay, that's a very important thing. So when I'm sitting with a client and I've just done a function for them, so for example, I did the DL Link casino evening. I want to be able to post video from there. Later on, I'll make them a proper reel with effects, and I'll take it into Premiere Pro and I'll bring in sound. But I want to be able to sit there and quickly censor that literally while I'm sitting there, and I want it to be of a high quality, but not necessarily the best. And that's where apps like VLLO, GoPro's Quick, QUIK, it's really, Quick is really a great little app for fast. I really want to make something fast, get it out there, put music on it, post it as fast as I can, multiple formats. And there's so much you can do right there. So you take it into your video editing software. Then the first thing you're going to do is organize your video. I always recommend that you create a little, is this a noise? Sorry. What I recommend you do on your phone, if you're not doing it already, and I don't do it often enough myself, you start creating folders for your images. So you create a folder called AutoJet Shoot, and everything I want goes in there, so that I'm not scrolling through a million pictures of Sasha or food or a bra that I did to try and find the one clip that I wanted. So I'm probably one of the least, I believe I have a combination of OCD and ADHD. Everything has to be perfect, but not for very long.
I think a good habit is to, when you first open your editing software, is to create templates and then copy those templates.
That's another great, yes.
As well as you can also download templates as well from other people who also do
Yes.
those. So some you can pay, some.
So what a template is, just for those of you that don't understand, and it's a great term, is it's a whole lot of cuts already, and all you'll do is drop in the form. So there'll be a template called Summer Holiday, and it'll tell you, shoot a long shot, shoot a close-up, shoot an ice cream. You'll drop it into these templates, and makes the video for you.
Where do you find those for your?
VLO will have some templates. Video Leaps has got templates. You can create your own templates, which you just reuse over and over once you've got it on VLO. But they work fantastically. You can buy some, you can give a tip for some of them, you can buy some on coffee, whatever they like to say. So organize it, it just makes life a little bit easier for you over there. Import your video into VLO, and I'll go through that exact process for you. Create a rough cut, just kind of lay them out on the timeline, not too worried about how they're going to look. I start moving them around. Then I start doing the trims, I start refining them, looking in, do I want to zoom in? How do I want to change it? Then I add my B-roll, any images that I want, anything I want to sit in the background. I add a couple of transitions. Transitions are how it changes. Now, most of the time, fade is the best transition for you. Just fade. Just simple as that, fade. But if you're doing something with high action, then you might want to use a zoom twist. So all of a sudden it goes from a roulette wheel into the guy doing cards. But try not to overdo the transitions and try and be uniform. So I try and use one transition throughout that entire video, and 99.9% of the time it's fade. It's not fade to black, it's not zoom, it's not color, it's not flash, but there are times when you want to use it, and those are also available to you as you go along. Then I'll add all the text and titles that I want. Once again, with the text and titles, I'm very careful to be uniform throughout the whole thing. So I tend to copy the text, the titles, I'm not changing it. It's always a slightly grayed background with a 60% opacity with white title, with shadow on it, same font, same size. Don't give people a reason to switch off because they're so confused or.
This is all on your phone, right?
I'm going to do it all for you.
What I'm saying is there enough visual space for you to see what you're doing? And
Yeah,
moving things?
I'm going to do it on my iPad because it projects better, but I can make you an entire movie myself because. So I say this at all my videos, shooting things. Go out there and make your first video. It's going to be cuck. Okay, I'll tell you. The second one's going to be a little less cuck. Then you're going to be bordering on not so cuck. Then you're going to be going, wow, this is okay. And eventually you're going to get to, but in order to get there, you have to make a lot of cuck videos. Okay. It's the same with ideas. People say, how do you come up with so many good ideas? I say, because you will not believe how many bad ones I come up with. But I'm prepared to make those mistakes, be prepared to experiment. Go home this afternoon and make yourself a video, even if you're not going to use it. Go play with these things. Go make those first 10 videos. How many did you make before you got one right?
Not a lot,
Yeah.
because I enjoy it.
Yeah, but even if you go back to when you first did, no, I don't mean now. If you go back to when you first did, if I were to show you your first video to how it is now, you'll look at it and you'll go, look how lousy my titling is. Look at my jump shot. Look at my, and you'll recognize those things about your own videos later on. But in the land of the blind, one eye is king. Oh, by the way, that's another question. Someone asked me the other day, I was in a Zoom meeting, and the woman said to me, she said, I think it was supposed to be a compliment, but I'm not sure. She said to me, Mark, you're no spring chicken. So I thought, okay, I hope there's a but coming here. And she said to me, but how do you know so much about technology? I said, because I'm unbelievably lazy. And if I can find an easier way to do it, I have found it. That's my excuse. That's why I use technology, because it's so much easier than sitting and doing it. Then work on your audio, and I'll talk about that a bit more. Add some music to it, change the sound, whatever you want, add background music. Just one thing on background music, I'm going to tell you right now, please be careful what background music you use because of licensing. So it's your favorite song might be Celine Dion singing something. Facebook and YouTube are not going to like it. You're going to get a strike. They're going to cut out your audio. So great place to go. And I'll show you some places you can go and get some music from. Most of the apps themselves have got built-in music. Just do that, and you won't get a copyright strike. It's not. It might not be 100% perfect, but it's background music. It's not. So please stay away from licensed tracks wherever possible. Review and refine, and then export the video how you want to do it. So Just give me a second while I connect these two up to each other. Okay. Okay, that's my iPad. I've got it kind of set up like your phone would be. It would turn if I wanted to. I'm just going to use it like really on the phone. And then I'm going to go to, okay. I've got watch on this thing. Video. So my actual go-to app that I use is actually one there called Video Leap, but it's quite expensive. So unless you're going to really, the difference between Video Leap and VLLO is not big enough that you need to use there. So you'll find some other things on here. For example, I've got I have, for example, teleprompters that I can use as well, which appear on the side of my phone. While I'm videoing myself, I can read the teleprompter. The nice thing about Teleprompter Smart, if you're prepared to pay for it a little bit, it actually works with your voice. So as you're speaking, if you slow down, it slows down. If you speed up, it speeds up. So you've got teleprompters there. Here's Quick. This is GoPro's Quick. What you're able to do with GoPro's Quick is just kind of shoot very fast. What the doll's house looks like at the moment. It's when I want something like really fast. I don't know if this is still here or not. This was at the Jerusalem Marathon. Okay, just to say that there are so many apps. The one we want to talk about today more than anything else is VLLO. So when you open VLLO on your phone, that's kind of, you're going to be met with that. So these are all the projects that you've done before. There are projects, anything that you've made before, you'll find there. You can search for templates, you can look for anything you want there. But on the whole, really what you're going to do is just hitting the button that says create a new video. And there's the new video, there's all the stuff we want to use. So for example, I want to make a video about this lady over here. I'll just add her to my video. Now I know you can't see everything here, but it'll also going to ask me what size I want to shoot in. That's what's appearing over there. So do I want it in the original, which is my first scene, 16:9, 4:3, 4:5, 1:1, 16:9. 16:9 is this way, 9:6 is this way, 9:16 is this way. Do I want to shoot in 1.85? That's anamorphic, that's very, very thin. So if you're shooting really big scenery, that's all over there. But on the whole, most of the time, you're just going to go 16:9. Then it's going to also ask you if you want it to full, fit, or center. So if your particular video isn't the same size as the one that's going to come out the end, what you want it to do with your film automatically. So I'm usually, my go-to is basically first scene and full, or 16:9 and full. That will be my thing. Then I just hit create project. And there's the lady that I recorded yesterday. You can see I've used the rule of thirds. And quite interesting, when I was filming her, she said to me, but why aren't I in the middle? And then I had to give her the whole rule of thirds talk. And she went, oh my goodness. And then I had to help her put the screen, the grid on her phone so she can start shooting in 16:9. So there she kind of is. So what I can do, little things, for example, is if I want to start somewhere else, I'll just click on over there and I'll look, and I'm sorry that it's not really very big, but there's a little scissor over there. I'll hit cut, and then I'll just, where's the delete button? So there's the delete, then I'll just remove that little bit from the beginning. Simple as that.
It doesn't affect the original.
No,
Yeah, no.
no, in fact, I can go back, I can hit the back button, which is over there, and there it is back on. So anytime I make a mistake, just go back, go forward, go back, go forwards. Might be going along and I want to actually cut out part of it. I'll just stop over there, do a split, go a bit further on, do a split. Now I can take this piece of video and I can actually remove it, or I can pick it up with my finger and I can move it to the end of the video instead of the front of the video. It's proper video editing as you go along. Everything that you can kind of do on Premiere Pro, it's kind of doing over there. So now I have these two clips over here, and what's happening between them is like kind of a jump. So click on the middle there, go to transitions, done. There's the transitions, click on the button, here are all the transitions I can use. A little bit of an idea running along the bottom of what I'm going to see. As I say, I go straight to, in this case it's called dissolve and not fade. And then you'll just see her changing that. You could see her changing. So that's kind of my fade that I want to use all the time. Let's go back. I want to put that back where it was. But that's kind of how I cut it. What I else might want to do at any particular time is zoom in on her. And to zoom in on her, I just click on the video and I click on and I move it. Here we are. I click and I move her there. But what I might want to do, for example, is only have her come, I only want to zoom at a particular time. And then you'll find a little button. Find it on here. Can't find my little keyframe button. But I am able to only zoom in on a particular time and then zoom out again, no problem. But let's say I want to use this. Now I've decided I'm quite happy with what she does. I want to add some B-roll.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you.
I want to add some B-roll over here. So now I'm going to go back to done and I'm going to go to.
Does it say B-roll on the app? or
It does. So
something
what
else?
it does is it calls it, what's it called on this one? Video, image, or GIF along here. Maybe like a different layer. So I'm just going to click on video. I'm going to take this video of her doing some reflexology at the same time. Kind of move it up there, decide on what size I want, decide exactly when I want it to come into picture. I want it to come in there. Also don't want it to just burst in. So I'm going to go look for animation along the bottom there. And I want it to fade in. And I'm also going to let it fade in for quite a long time. So you can see it come in at a particular time that I want it to come in. And I only want it to last kind of that long. So now what we've got, change the fade on there.
Just a question,
Yes.
audio, does it clean audio?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't clean audio. So if you want to clean your own audio, there's a program called Audacity, and it's free. So you can download Audacity, watch a couple of videos on how to clean up audio, how to cut out little bits, how to get the click, the S. It's got all of that. It's really professional. A lot of guys use it as a pro. So you could use Audacity as your editing software for sound only. But it's only available on your PC. It's not a phone app. So now I've decided I want to do that. I'm very happy with that one. I like the fade. But what I want to do, for example, is I actually want to change just how that particular thing looks. Let's find a I want to remove the background. Quite interesting that it will take out the background for you.
Of the B shot or the
The
main?
either one, whichever one you want. So I could just have a head come up there instead of that. Also depends how clear the person is from the background. So if you prepare to shoot yourself, say, for example, behind a white wall, then remove your own background. You can then use your B-roll behind you and make it look like you are presenting in a workshop. Then I'm working through a school, then I'm on the field, then I've got people playing rugby behind me. It's quite amazing that it can do all of that. I can add some effects to that. I can change that. I can change that to black and white. If I want to take away from the. At the same time, I want to tell you who she is. So I'll go along to text. I'll add caption. I'll add a basic caption. Here's one there. I'll click on it. Her name is Helen Berger, if I remember correctly. There we go. There she is. I can change the opacity of it. I can make the background stand out or stand up. I can make it come in wherever I want. I can take it out. I've added a title to it. Every time I'm happy, I just press done. Now I decide I want to add some music to the whole thing. I want to put some background music on. No problem. Where's my music? Videos, media. No, on the media, sorry. I want to. There's audio, background music. I can listen to the different background musics that are available to me.
Do you think Premiere is easier?
Premiere Pro.
Is it the Adobe? Is it Adobe Premiere?
Well, yeah, the thing with Adobe Premiere is it is expensive and it's a big learning curve.
No, well, I've got the whole Adobe.
You got the whole
Anyway,
suite.
so I'm saying, is it easier? for
Not
you?
on your phone, it's not.
No.
It's certainly easier on my.
No.
I mean, I spend hours on Adobe.
Because like Adobe, specifically for the editors, like text-based editing is like becoming a new thing. So
Yes.
if you are speaking, it has AI that basically takes that audio and then you can edit the video according to the actual text. So you can cut out those parts, the arms, or whatever you don't want to be said.
Yeah.
So like there's other options as well. So those are nice ways to edit without actually.
Another app is CapCut.
CapCut, yeah.
Is that on a desktop or on the
your
phone?
Yeah.
It's also very similar. to
The interesting thing is no matter what you're using, they all work more or less the same. So if you learn to cut, the cuts are more or less the same. You do an overlay. Some of them have got, that's what I like about all of them. If I can teach you on one, chances are no matter what you do, you can find the cut, you can find the music. So there, what I've done now is I've added some music.
I see these, using these for layman is
Yes.
brilliant. If you don't have a video editing background, anybody can use these. Whether if you go onto Premiere, much like you go onto Photoshop and Illustrator, you need some sort of training in that. Here
Yeah.
you can do this immediately yourself and have a semi-professional result.
Yeah, I think that's the best description. Is I'm here talking to people who don't do voice over editing on Premiere Pro or I don't know if have you played with the new Photoshop Beta?
I haven't yet, no.
Haven't you?
I've seen
Oh.
it. Is it
It's
amazing?
insane. You have a chair and you say, please put a sleeping tabby cat on the chair.
Oh,
And boom, there's the
Oh my
sleeping tabby
goodness.
cat. But it looks like the cat was there originally. It's not like a picture of a cat overlaid. It's like sunken in the furniture, the shadows. I mean, AI is going to change everything. But so the big thing right now is that I've made this,
You just can't be-
but you'll hear that her voice is drowned out. So all I do is I go
Adjust
here,
the volume.
and I go to the volume, yes. Here we are.
Hers or the.
Now I'll bring down the background. I might want to increase hers if the sound wasn't good enough. But I can do both of them, then done, press play. Still a bit too loud. Bring the volume down even lower. I really just want it to be the background.
older workability. There's a wonderful body-mind connection in the treatment side.
So what, I just,
So Mike, there was a request
yes,
to do a follow-up where it was asked, could people go off and make their own videos using the app? And at some stage you do a critique and maybe if they have problems.
yeah, with pleasure. In fact, what I've done before is I've actually run competitions. So you can all send me a 60-second video, and the winner, I'll give you 2 hours online free video editing lesson. But you have to win the competition, okay? So this is actually the video that I made yesterday. Wow. No. What we'll do is we'll have categories. Yeah, we'll have categories, and this is the actual video that I shot at DLD yesterday and edited while I was there.
It's Rosa, and I've been
Sorry.
doing pro bono treatment at DLD for the past 7 years. I offer Reiki, reflexology, craniosacral therapy, and good older workability. There's a wonderful body-mind connection in the treatments I do, because the body reflects what you think and feel. So when you lie down on my bed and I treat you, it gives you an opportunity to release all that pent-up emotion, which research has told us is the precursor of
So obviously on Premiere Pro, I could have done so much more,
contact.
but they wanted this out at the particular point really quickly. That's when this becomes, I shoot it, I stick it on my iPad or my phone, I edit it, I post it, it's done, everybody's happy, it's clear, it's easy to
And you
use.
uploaded the logo.
Yeah, so then what I have is I have the logo on Canva. So I have the logo on Canva with a transparent background, and I just overlay it wherever I want it along the way. So it's this combination.
How difficult is it to add like those Reiki lines that you have in the video?
Okay, so what's interesting here, and I'm going to show you. That was actually, this is, as I say, my favorite editing app is actually Videoly. Let me just go into the one I made yesterday. So there it is. This has got something here called outlines. Something called outlines. And it does it for you automatically. All you do is you pick the size. So I'll change the size. I'll change the distance. I'll change the no, I won't change that. No, so I'm going to do that.
This is an effect, right?
It's an effect. Yeah, and a built-in effect, free built-in effect.
So it's just
I can change the color palette. There's the color palette.
Maybe no object effects, no
Yeah,
words.
now all of a sudden I've got that effect.
So when you lie down on my bed,
I mean, you just sometimes I marvel. Sometimes I think,
it gives you an
excuse my language, how the fuck can this be free? Or how can this be included on my phone?
opportunity.
I know the get that factor and
So-
mentioned earlier, the get that factor. and
Yes.
mentioned Earlier on, so TikTok and get that, it kind of like a little partnership merging thing. So if you go into TikTok and you search, get that tickets, for example, it'll then open up in get that and you just drop those things and then you edit it. By the time you export it, it's already done for you, the transitions.
I mean, yeah, there's just. So then another really important thing right at the end is now you finally decide that you're happy with your video and you need to export it. So I'm just going to carry on in this particular app. There's a button at the top that says export. And now I'm going to decide what size. I can go all the way from exporting in 360 all the way to exporting in 4K. So once again here, I might actually export in two different ones. I might export in 480 just for what I'm sending on WhatsApp, and I might export in 4K for what I'm putting on YouTube, because YouTube really does prefer
And for Instagram, what would you?
1080,
Okay.
just 1080 standards. Most of the time it's going to be standard. Now, another thing that's going to happen along the way is you're going to make yourself a video and it's going to be too big. The file size is just going to be too big. It's going to be 70 megs or whatever, then what I recommend you do is you go onto your computer and you download a particular app. See if it opens quickly. Called I know it's not. This is an app called Handbrake. And you can download Handbrake from handbrake.fr. It's absolutely brilliant for reducing the size of a video without reducing the quality by much. So if you really, I don't know if you guys ever use Handbrake, it is spectacular. So what you do with Handbrake, and I'll quickly do a demo for you. Stop sharing that. So let's switch it off. So what I've got here is I've got a video here that you can see is 500, or I'm using one of the slightly smaller ones. This video is 297 megs big. So how in heaven's name am I going to put a 297 meg video on WhatsApp? If I want to send it over WhatsApp, no problem. I just drag and drop that particular video, 297. I drop it. Sorry. I drop it into Handbrake, and I go to Handbrake and I say just reduce its size to Gmail 5 minutes. There's a 43080, and I press start and I let it run. And by the time I'm finished, I've got a video that's probably about 10 megs big, and on your cell phone you won't know the difference. So it's really big, and it's pretty quick. So anything that you want to do, from writing the script to taking the video, to shooting the video, to editing the video, to exporting the video, to even when you get to this final stage, now you've got the video, you're gonna post it on Facebook. You go back to ChatGPT and you say, I am about to post that video script on ChatGPT. Please write me the post based on the script. Boom. Please write me the post based on the script with a call to action. Boom. How should I change that script now that I'm going to LinkedIn and my target audience has changed to managing directors? Boom, new script. Just wait for us to finish encoding. It was 297, eh? I know where to export it to. Videos. Here it is. It's now 7 megs big. Same video on the phone will look like the same quality. Obviously, you can't play that on a big screen, but if I play it now,
Mark, these animations that you do,
yeah.
what are you using to make them?
Adobe Character Animator. So quite interesting with Adobe Character Animator. So this is, I bought this character. You get them from Graphics Mama. You could buy these characters. But then I learned that I could do something else. I can find it. Just watch my character. I decided they didn't look enough like me. Sorry, you can't hear what it's saying. Besides the character, she looked a little bit more like me, so I asked him to go into Adobe. He went into Adobe Illustrator. I don't know the Illustrator well enough. And he changed the character for me. He could change the color of the shirt. I can put a branded shirt on. And then I'm using something called Doodly for the hand-drawn stuff. But it's all out there. All out there. Go forth and create would be the best way to describe it. Where are we on this? It's not cursor. So then about the music, just watch out for copyright more than anything else. Do the final touches. And that kind of brings us to the end. Go forth and create.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.